But instead of going over all the games, because there were so many, I will do my top eight.
Chase's top 8.
All right. So
Are you going to go 1 to 8 or 8 to 1?
I am still going to go 1 to 8.
All right. Number 1.
Number one, taking care of business at home. Kansas City Chiefs beating the Rams 26-10. I I kind of am sad because this would have been a really good matchup if the Rams were fully healthy,
Or good.
or it would have been a better matchup, a better one, because they
If
don't
the
have
Rams were
their
good.
quarterback. Yeah, if the Rams were good, I guess, but they don't have their quarterback. Obviously, Cooper Cup's out. Allen Robinson was doing some stuff. He scored a touchdown, but then or no, it wasn't actually Allen Robinson. It was Van Jefferson. Allen Robinson gets hurt, and now he's out for the season. So they just keep dropping like flies over there in LA to the point where at 3-8, you don't even have any picks.
I can't
So
remember a more disappointing defending Super Bowl champion. Like in our lifetime of watching sports, I can't remember a more disappointing defending champ.
I I think I'm there with you, but if you think about it, I mean, that's what they kind of went for. They went
Yeah.
all in on
Yeah.
last year,
They went for
and
broke
this is
last
what
year.
happens. This is what happens.
It
So,
can turn in a hurry.
yep. But the Chiefs take care of business, 26-10. Obviously, first touchdown, of course, is going to be to Travis Kelsey. I mean, they literally can't stop scoring together. Like
Yeah,
Mahomes to Kelsey
he's got to get his
is
quota.
ridiculous. Dude, Travis Kelsey is probably the most consistent football player on the planet right now. With Mahomes. I
He's
mean,
there.
the
He's in the
combo, I guess.
conversation. He's in the conversation.
It's just insane. It's over and over again when you're like, no, I don't know if Travis Kelsey can do it this year.
Like
Dude.
there have been some great quarterback to tight end combos in NFL history, but I'm not sure any of them are better than Mahomes and Kelsey.
The only close one that I can really think of would maybe be Brady and Gronk, because that was pretty
Yeah,
dynamic for a long time. But
yeah.
other than that,
Those two are probably the top. You know, you've got like Breeze and Graham had some really good years.
that's true. I did, dude. I saw a highlight the other day of one, and it was dirty.
You know, Elway and Sharp was a pretty
Ooh,
good
yeah.
was a
See,
good combo.
that was a little bit
Right. It was a little before our
before I
time.
started really getting into football.
Yeah, we were young.
See, Tony
We were
Gonzalez was really
babies.
good, but he never had like a.
He had a couple of quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Him with Matt Ryan wasn't bad, but
Rivers and Gates is a really good combo.
yep, true. Ooh, that was a good
And
one.
Tony Romo
And
and
Jason
Jason
Witten,
Witten is a really good
yeah.
combo. But
Ooh, man,
I'll put
this is
Mahomes and
fun.
Kelsey up against any of them.
Yeah, no, Mahomes and Kelsey, I feel like is gonna go down as the best quarterback tight end duo of all time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's hard to
really is
argue.
between that and Brady and Gronk.
Yeah,
Like
because
that's
Brady
the
and Gronk
argument.
won Super Bowls, plural.
Yeah,
Kansas
right.
City's still trying to do that, but I wouldn't put it past them this year. So they are my number one.
Number two.
Number two. I was complaining about it, but I still got to have the Eagles there. They're still 10-1.
Yeah, 10-1 is it's
It's not
pretty when
enough to
you're
put
looking
you
at the
over Patrick
standings.
Mahomes, but
Yeah,
but yeah, they're still winning regardless of who's on their schedule, regardless of who they play. Um, they're still winning. So
yeah,
until the Cowboys beat them on Christmas Eve, I got to have them up there. So
yeah.
they're staying at number two.
They are the TCU of the NFL.
Right. And if it wasn't for a close game to the Lions where they barely had to win at the end, I might have had Buffalo too, because they just keep doing it too, man. So, but I'm gonna put Buffalo 3. I don't
Okay.
want to talk too much about Philly if you didn't notice.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hurts is ridiculous.
Speaking of Philly, for anybody on the YouTube, got my World Series gear.
Repping the Astros. Nice.
Yep, got my Astros World Series champs T-shirt on for this.
Way to rub it in for Philly. I do want to give Hurts his credit though. I'll be honest, like as much as I don't like Philly, I'm not too hurt by Hurts.
Yeah, you gotta respect Jalen Hurts. He's an Astros fan.
Oh, I forgot about that. But no, he's been playing lights out at an MVP level. Everybody didn't know, or not everybody, but there were a lot of people that were skeptical if he could
A
take
lot
that
of
next
doubters,
step. A lot of doubters, and it looks
myself
like he's.
included.
I mean, I still think he can improve his passing game, but but the way that they make it work with him and AJ Brown, I mean, and
Yeah,
Devontae Smith is actually starting to blossom a little bit better. Like
yeah.
that's a dangerous team. I mean, my dude, they ran. What was it?
Thought we weren't talking about Philly.
I know, but then I realized I should probably at least say something. Dude, they rushed for 363 yards.
Is that good?
363 yards.
Is that good?
Dude, that's insane. They had two. I mean, Jalen Hurts with 157. He's trying. I bet you him and Fields are going to go back and forth with setting this rushing record in a single game. Like that's just it's fun to watch. I'll be honest about that. But yeah, Miles Sanders even cracking 100 with 143, and he had two touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell finds the end zone. That's insane, dude. If they can run like that, and then you've got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown on the,
Yeah,
I am a little scared of the Eagles.
it's a well-built offense. There's no question.
Yeah. But they still have to go through Dallas. So,
Yep.
3. I mentioned it already. Kind of already spoiled it, but
Yeah.
Buffalo. Buffalo is my number 3. They keep doing it. I mean, him and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs seem like they're starting to get on the right page.
Yeah.
And if they can do that, then it's obviously it's going to be between them and Kansas City in the AFC Championship. I just don't see any other way around it.
And unless Miami is really, really real.
Miami, you're right. Miami. I keep forgetting about Miami. Why do I always keep forgetting about Miami? Because the reason I said most likely it's going to be them two is just because I was thinking Baltimore, but I can't.
Right.
I can't anymore. I can't put Baltimore in that discussion anymore. So
That's a tough game.
but you're right. Miami. Oh, Miami. Damn. Number 3 though, Buffalo. Sticking with it for now.
Yeah. I'm still there. I'm still there with you as a power ranking. I still would have Buffalo above.
We're gonna have to
Miami.
see how long Von Miller's out because that is a huge difference maker on the defense.
Yes, it is.
And as good as their offense is, they've got to have their defense. I mean, they've proven that.
Right.
So we'll have to see how long Von Miller's out, and if he is out for an extended period of time, how well this defense does without him. And
Right.
then we might have to adjust from there. But Buffalo taking care of business, like I said. I keep saying that one. That's my phrase for this episode, I
Taking
guess.
care of business every day.
Taking care of business. Anyways, and then they actually starting to run a little bit. Devin Singletary's looking good. James Cook's getting a little bit more involved. Or no, he didn't run at all. Dang.
Yeah, they didn't use him a lot this week.
No, but Devin Singletary didn't look bad. They didn't use Naheem Hines at all. It's weird that they traded for him, but I like Buffalo. They're still looking really good. I don't know if Josh Allen has not quite been the MVP level Josh Allen that I kind
No.
of thought he might have been this year, but he's still a beast, dude. He's still beasting it out.
Yeah.
So, and he still has a chance. I mean, there's definitely plenty of football.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of football left.
And then so number 4, man. I'm gonna have to go with Miami.
Okay. I was expecting Cowboys there.
I know, but
I don't disagree with you. I mean, you have those two guys on the outside, and when Tua has played this season, that offense looks almost unstoppable.
they do. And I mean, yeah, they got to play the Texans, so it's not like that big of a
Yeah, but they were up 30-0 at halftime.
30 to
And then they were just
0.
like, all right, we've already scored enough. Let's kind of cool it.
Yeah, Tua didn't even play in the fourth quarter, I don't think.
Right.
So yeah, no, they went up 30 to 0 against the Texans.
Yeah.
And if
I mean,
that's not a statement,
that was a college game where you put in the backups in the second half.
no, that's basically what happened. Like not quite the whole second half, but
Right.
essentially. Um, and so, and the crazy thing is, they really didn't do anything too nuts. Like they did have some big plays, but like they just went down and scored, went down and scored, went
Yeah.
down and scored. I do really like the addition of Jeff Wilson Jr. I think him being back together with Mike McDaniels, and then they got Raheem Mostert. That them all being back together, that seems to be working pretty well. I
Yeah.
did also see a little video about Tua. Apparently, like last year, he like questioned himself a lot and like literally would look in the mirror like, "Do I suck? Like, am I really not good enough to be at this level?"
Yeah.
And that's all he kept hearing from a lot of people and stuff. And then Mike McDaniels comes in and apparently put together like a 700 or more play, like little montage of Tua being Tua
It was like, hey,
and
look,
showed,
watch this. Realize you're awesome. We
yeah,
just brought in Tyreek Hill. You have Jalen Waddle over there. We're gonna get you a
dude,
couple of backs. This is gonna be fun.
yeah. And then they trade for Bradley Chubb to add to the defense, and
Right.
that defense is rolling now too. Like, dude,
I
if I
like
had to
Miami a
pick,
lot.
and
Miami might be the most fun team to watch in the NFL right now.
I think I'm right there with you between Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, man. Like Tua doesn't even have to scramble. He doesn't have
Mm-mm.
to run. He doesn't
No.
have to worry about putting himself in a position to get
Heck,
another concussion because he just has to throw the ball to anybody.
By the time he hits the fifth step on a 5-step drop, he can just toss the ball up to Tyreek Hill. He's already 40 yards deep.
Yeah, one of them is.
Right.
So if I'll even say it, like if I had to pick an AFC team, like you told me, like I had to choose one that I have to be a fan of now because you had to have one of each side, it'd probably be Miami.
They're fun. They're
They're
very fun to
fun. They're
watch.
my favorite colors. I'll be honest. Like the orange and teal is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I love that. And dude, I mean, it's Miami. Who wouldn't want to? It's Miami.
Right.
But they will definitely be. You're right. It's Kansas City, Buffalo, and Miami, and that's going to be a bloodbath in the AFC.
It's gonna be fun. It's
It
gonna
is
be a
going
lot
to
of
be
fun.
fun. It's going to be real fun. All right.
Number
So
5.
number 5, going with your Dallas Cowboys
Defense is still
because
looking pretty good.
defense
Dak's
still looking
Dak's
great.
getting there.
Dak is definitely getting there. If we can get all three tight ends involved like that while we still have them all, dude, that's fresh legs. Like that that's awesome. We used to have a hard time with Jason Witten was our only tight end. We couldn't do anything with anybody
Ever.
else.
For like 10
Yes.
years.
Yes, we couldn't do anything with anybody else. Now we did have a couple guys like Jeff Swaim and um who was the one that
Marcellus
just got
Bennett
hurt.
for a
Blake.
while.
Oh yeah, he did come in. Um Blake Jarwin, who ended up getting hurt and stuff. And but I mean, to have three that can do stuff that they're doing right now is really exciting because they can actually block too. They're not just pass catching tight ends. Like they're blocking tight ends too. And Zeke, man, I think it was the best thing for him having a couple weeks off. I think it was
Probably
like 3 weeks.
freshened up a little bit.
Yeah, he looks so much better right now. And that 1-2 punch between him and Pollard, it might be one of the best in the NFL. I mean,
It's up
there's some
there.
good ones out there, so it's hard to compare. But I mean, it's really hard to stop them. And if you're
As a
not going to be
tandem,
able to
they're up
stop
there.
them, and then with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup on the outside, it's not Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But dude, they're up there. They're up there with one of the best tandems in the NFL as well as
Top
receivers
5.
go.
Top
I can
5.
agree with that. Yeah. Now, I know everybody's saying this, but imagine if we did add Will Beckham. I mean, if he has anything left in the tank still, that would
Yeah,
just make
we'll
our
see.
receiving group even better. But I like what Dak's doing. I like what the run game's doing. The defense is looking really good. Our special teams has actually been playing really well. I'm all in on the Cowboys right now. I know it's really hard. Don't buy into the Cowboys. They're just going to disappoint you. But right now, I'm buying in. It's hard not to.
Yeah. I mean, they've looked good. Like I said earlier, they're the second best scoring differential in the NFL. That doesn't happen by accident.
No, it doesn't. Okay,
Number
so
6.
now I was going to be getting into the ones that I haven't really. I mean, I've definitely done plenty of research and looking into this. I'm going to have to go with Minnesota.
9-2. It's kind of hard to go elsewhere.
9-2, and if Kirk Cousins is able to actually do in prime time what he did in prime time on Thanksgiving, because that's usually not his thing, then watch out for Minnesota because they've got a good defense. And dude, Justin Jefferson,
Yeah.
have we had a wide receiver MVP before? Did Megatron ever get
I
it or
don't think
anything?
so.
Yeah, because they were
I
never
don't Jerry
good.
Rice maybe. Did Jerry Rice win one maybe?
Maybe
I feel like
we'll
Jerry
have to
Rice might
check.
have won one.
I'm actually gonna look because Jefferson right now is literally
I'll look it up so you can carry on with your top
okay.
8.
Cool, that works good. So Jefferson, dude, he literally. Let's see, what is So obviously, like you said, Minnesota's 9-2, and their offense
No
can't stop.
no receiver has ever won MVP.
No receivers ever won MVP. Wow. Okay.
I thought if anybody it'd be Jerry Rice, but
Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess at all. Um, so he's got 81 catches for the third in the NFL, 1,232 yards for second in the NFL, only 5 touchdowns, which I'm a little surprised by. But I don't see, I see that going up easily because Kirk Cousins has been playing really well, and the run game has been playing well with Dalvin Cook and Madison. Madison hasn't been having to get involved as much lately, but the Vikings, if they're all on, watch out. They're really good. They're fun to watch, man. So, and if Justin Jefferson can keep passing the ball too, then I don't know,
right.
man. You better watch out. All right, so number 6 was Minnesota.
Number 7. Which 7-4 team is going to be number 7? There's a bunch of 7-4 teams.
There are a bunch of 7-4
You got
teams.
Tennessee, Baltimore, Cincinnati, the New York Jets, San Francisco, and the Giants are all 7-4. Have fun.
So I know, right? That's definitely a tough one to do. But we did have a shutout in the NFL yesterday. It doesn't happen very often. But San
Yeah.
Francisco 49ers shut out the Saints 13-0, so it wasn't
Yeah.
huge.
Was not a
But
blowout.
but if San Francisco's healthy, they did just lose Elijah Mitchell for like I think 4 to 6 weeks is what I heard. But with Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk played really well yesterday.
I've always liked Ayuk.
Me too. I like Ayuk a lot. So, and he gets a little bit forgotten about because of Debo Samuel.
Mhm.
And then you had Kittle, who just absolutely went off 2 weeks ago, and uh, it's a good team. Like they've had some struggles. Obviously, they're playing with a quarterback that wasn't necessarily supposed to be their quarterback to start the season,
Yeah, but it
but
was the
he's
guy that started
still
last season and took them to a
agreed.
Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So
I agree, and I'm a Jimmy G supporter. I mean, he doesn't have the best stats, but he wins football games.
right,
And so he's still winning football games. They are 7-4, but they shut out a Saints team who, even though technically, yeah, they're playing Andy Dalton, Jameis is healthy, if I'm not mistaken. So they're playing the guy they want. So it's a healthy team. Now they have lost Michael Thomas, but what was he adding anyways? Chris Olave is actually starting to play really well, and they shut them down. Like they shut them down. And if San Francisco's defense is going to play like that, I would rely on Jimmy G, Debo, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk. I would rely on all those guys to get you at least 13 to 20 points. If your defense can shut teams
right.
down, then that's a good recipe right there. So So San Francisco is going to be my best 7-4 team, and it was honestly close with them and Tennessee.
Okay.
Going into this weekend, I was definitely expecting Tennessee to beat Cincinnati, especially with Jamar Chase ended up being out. Joe Mixon, did Joe Mixon even
So
end up playing? Shit.
Tennessee over Cincinnati, huh?
Yeah, Tennessee over Cincinnati,
Okay.
even with Cincinnati winning,
I
just
respect it.
because I, if Ryan Tannehill can play the way that he's shown, and if Derrick Henry is, I mean, it's Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
and if Traylon Burks can kind of take
My guy.
that AJ Brown role a little bit more, like he still needs to do a little bit more because his touchdown yesterday was, I think it was actually his first touchdown, but it was a fumble recovery from Derrick Henry, which was awesome. It was a great athletic hustle play because
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, it looked like he was about to have a 75-yard touchdown, and he fumbles it right at the goal line. But luckily, Traylon Burks was following right there and was able to jump on it. So
Right.
um, I was expecting them to win that game, and with now my main reason for having Tennessee over Cincinnati is because Mixon and Jamar Chase both still a little banged up. Their defense, although stopped Tennessee pretty well, still hasn't really impressed me too much.
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
so that's why I've got Tennessee over Cincinnati right now. And then,
Yeah, and Cincinnati's wins this season, I mean, they beat the Dolphins without Tua. They beat the Saints, Falcons. They lost to the Browns, got blown out by the Browns. They beat the Bengals, Steelers, and Titans. Like, it's not a super impressive run of wins.
right. And see, the Titans barely lost to the Chiefs in overtime, which was a hell of a game. And their other loss were the Bills, who are the Bills.
Right? It's
and
respectable,
then the Giants in week 1 by 1 point.
which is still a weird game.
Yeah. So I think Tennessee is just a better football team than Cincinnati.
Yeah, I respect it. I
Yeah,
respect
we'll
it.
see. We will see what happens though. Like
I
we
might
said,
still have
still plenty of
Baltimore in there,
football.
but that's just me.
Baltimore's
I've
actually
always
going to
been really
be.
high on Baltimore.
Baltimore will be my next one. So they're in between Tennessee and Cincinnati.
If we were going to 9, then Baltimore would be number 9.